Welcome everyone to another open source bug fix live stream here on our channel. Being clever, consuming electricity when grid wholesale price becomes negative. Clever tip for how to get paid with open source. Consume electricity. It's that easy. Yes, it's a little bit clickbait, but nah. Got to do what you got to do. So, PowerPC Mesa fails with atomics, and I looked briefly into this and realized that maybe it's actually a bug from mine, a rare occasion when actually we produce a bug. Where's my layout? Here's my layout. I noticed in the log that because the issue is that the compiler produces atomics that are apparently not in libatomics, and so that is PowerPC6. And what is suspicious is that PowerPC32 builds, but PowerPC64 with 32-bit default userland doesn't. I found this already newsworthy yesterday, and undefined reference to Zenclo test and set 8. This may or may not be a correct thing, and I realized by pure chance, because also I diffed it actually. Did I diff it here? Maybe. So what I then did, I diffed the log should be relatively similar. The problem is of course you get some noise of 32-bit 603 CPU versus 970 tune cell, I believe, or something of that sort, maybe. And of course all the PowerPC versus PowerPC64, because that is just the general Arch triplet also for 64-bit kernel. And I realized here somewhere. All right, I believe it's CPU. Oh, where was it? It was somewhere. Where did I notice that? Here probably. Somewhere around family PowerPC target. Ah, yeah, here. Target machine and host machine stuff is PowerPC64, and while that is a global build configuration that is not accurate in this exceptional tune, different, like altered. Yes, we are PowerPC64 for the compiler support and debugger and Linux kernel and bootloader. Not really, but we default to a 32-bit userland, right, for less than memory bandwidth, G5 and P3 and stuff. So I took already a close look before I decided, like, let's go live, because why not? Also, coffee. I noticed actually that also I diffed that, so that is actually already wrong. So that's actually a real bug of mine. We are also only human, and among other things I noticed that this Meson cross-ini, because of course you need such a stupid cross-ini, this is also already, so CPU PowerPC64 and our pointer thing here, size of void *8, that is of course wrong. And then I realized, wait a second, don't tell me I forgot. And of course I forgot. We have here this exceptional alternative build configuration stuff, which is not normally there, and like for SPARC64 and PowerPC has it. And so we do not correctly override this here. I saw that already, and then I thought, you know what, credit where credit is due. We also make bugs. And so I actually did that for SPARC 64 with 32-bit user space, so that is size of long and sharp pointer. We need that. And I added already to do to in the future. We should have some more generic helper and more generic multilib support, but that is not for this release because I won't have that released. So this may or may not, I've not tried this before the live stream, and this may or may not fix. Oh wait, let's also, because for testing reasons, I thought let's slap atomic here. And that is of course, I yesterday already said that is wrong. Let's remove that there, and you know what, let's show you the matrix. And so yeah, that might be a reason. And that's also, instead of trying, I mean, like libatomic didn't help there. And in general, pro tip, actually take a real closer look into the inner workings, debug what is wrong, and yeah, start, like, try to find the root cause and like not like randomly try random stuff, but actually really look deep into what actually wrong. I hope that fixes that. It could be that there's still other things, but maybe that's it. I guess we probably should rebuild the whole build then, because it is, I really find this configure, I mean, yeah, cross-compiling and hard-coded stuff, amazing things. I find this configure test stupid, right? Instead of like compiler, hey, some code, like compile it, hey, that even fixed it. So the only thing is, I mean, we could, so that is yay. Obviously, did I change the parallel config? Maybe of course I forgot about that. Oh wait, this was the wrong one. Yeah, too many build configs. Yeah. So yeah, that's a good find. Do we have any other of, what do we do for MIPS64? Do we do something similar here? Because that, or do we do this in Arch? Actually, can we? Let me actually think a bit. How many issues did we had on the Octane? I mean, surprisingly, we didn't had the most issues, but that clearly weren't taken care of as well. So N32, make the clear host config, also some .libc. I mean, luckily most code doesn't use it, but I mean, it's also not really, I mean, and that is also the complexity of all this stuff. So long story short, I know that everything is so super amazing in our T2 Linux distribution. Comes, of course, the fun part of writing a microkernel and, of course, implementing all this exotic details better. Because I wouldn't want to, like, basically I would want some generic multi-lib of 3264 or x32 other modern 32-bit and 64-bit mode variants. Yeah, I guess we never really, I mean, why? I mean, the good thing is that the configure stuff, I said it yesterday, right? 99% of the configure stuff, so neither testing wrong nor being used correctly. So luckily, not that much breaks from this cross-compile helping guidance defines being probably partially wrong. I wonder, I mean, as a price for electrons is currently negative, I guess we could rebuild that fully. So, but basically what that means is, I mean, we don't even multiplex here for different, do I have this in the, so basically this should be this, oops, also maybe, and we should obviously do that more generic. I mean, we could, I have the whole build ready basically. MIPS64. The crazy thing is, if I would test just one architecture per day here, I would test a whole month, right? If I would test just one, and I mean, sure, I could test more, like if I would make this a full-time business with your share, like, subscribe, Patreon, all the other good fun stuff. Like, because realistically, it takes some time. I mean, I don't have the museum space of having all the systems set up, right? So testing SJ-Octane and stuff, like, of course, takes more than an hour, right? I need to take it off the shelves, I need to plug everything in, I need to grab the 13W3 adapter, which, hey, at least I have an 80 keyboard adapter on the desk, and I have a gender changer and stuff. But, so yeah, the 13, it's of course my VGA cable box here, but because obviously I have modern dongles and adapters on my table of USB-C, HDMI 2, and DVI to HDMI. Wait, I know, I take this back. I have a freaking, can you believe? True professionals. I have, of course, you recognize, like, if you, how to recognize a true IT expert. Of course, I have a 13W3 adapter on there. But yeah, I mean, obviously you need to set it up, then I need to pray that it still works, and the compression connectors, which everyone says are flanky, I had zero issues with so far, but you never know, and so on. And then installing, right? So either like getting everything together, already 15 minutes, hoping it boots, and then of course you would need to write a CD, which I don't have a CD-ROM in the Octane, which, by the way, I have the Octane, of course, here. This doesn't. Yeah, just as a, so fun fact, there doesn't even, a CD-ROM doesn't even fit in there because there are only 2 or 3. There are only, so the Octane is so massive, there are only 2 3.5-inch drive bays in there. So then, yeah, either you write an optical media, or actually I purchased a mostly working 2 GB Jazz drive to make testing and stuff. So yeah, and then another 50 minutes is like either way you write an optical rotational media for your vintage testing. You use rotational magnetic storage stuff or some SD cards, this thing, but you also need external cable and power, yeah. And then depending on whether you, like, if you truly install it, like if you test how you install it at home, right? And that is why with every system, maybe sometimes you need to plug in a serial cable because maybe the last time you used it headless, and so on and so on. And you need to remember the details, which probably I need to document better in some manual. So long story short, like, testing all this freaking stuff just takes forever, right? And then, of course, I mean, if we could make, maybe I should hire some students. If you're a student in Berlin, share, like, subscribe, write an email at career@exacode.de or so. Maybe I should delegate this to some student. Also then it's like, hey, look, watch this YouTuber with all this vintage stuff, and then you don't have time. You need to hire a student intern to test all the vintage system booting. Yeah, that's life. Probably could be worse, but yeah, 32-bit variants, and yeah. So slowly but steadily we probably get this vintage systems out and make dedicated video, which probably is more interesting for most people to watch an SJ-Octane, Sun Ultra Spark, and stuff at work. So that has no focus. So that actually build. Let's build this with. So yeah, basically I wiped the build now because I don't want to even. Actually, you know what? If the electron price is negative, we could actually waste them, but obviously we're not such environmental pigs here. PowerPC64 32, clean that and rebuild that completely, because obviously with that, oh, also nothing like fat fingering that. I have already a big ass enter key, it's still a fat finger set. Thankfully it was only a hash. Yeah, obviously I don't want a partial build, like who knows what broke in some way, shape or form. Yeah. A shorter, quicker way to test stuff, what I usually do to pre-test stuff, like without testing the full installer, which is of course not ideal because what's not tested is broken, and then installer ISO might not be bootable. But what I otherwise of course do is just rsync it, which also, like this stuff, it's usually, I guess, yeah, the SG-Octane probably has only 100 Mbit Ethernet, so that is 10 megabyte per second if you're lucky, plus SCSI overhead and this and that, so maybe 8 megabyte per second if you're lucky. And so just rsync probably takes 20 minutes or so, of 5 gigs or whatever of, actually we can, how large is, by the way, disk usage, build MIPS of, I use now the 32-bit variant because the other is not built, only the small because toolchain is capital for this reason, and then, yeah, 4.2, that was actually, the other builds might be larger if they have Firefox, so ARM64, yeah, 5. Hey, my guess was so much too. Yeah, but we make progress. We are nearly there, and that was a quick and easy fix, which we actually maybe I actually wait shortly and commit this together with MIPS, or do I? Actually, I could commit this. Yeah, you know what, I commit this already. You know what, let's be productive and quickly commit this. That is architecture PowerPC64. What other? That's the only stuff. So fix PowerPC64 32-bit default user space to reset or reset arch 64-bit arch size sizes. That's probably fine. And then I could commit it together because MIPS is basically the same, but you can also commit it separately because it's already working, and then you, for those playing along at home, they have it already. And I wonder how much improves this of stability and quirks and features. There are some further things. So we yesterday did quite some stuff with Musel. Let's find which files that were. Also hydration. SVN diff. And so what I usually do to find stuff, because we need the file and the content, so to find which files were changed, this, or and then we actually we don't really need that the most, and that would be Musel, and can't open. Okay, that is all right. All right, I think this needs to be escaped, and yeah, it's not the very best. So basically, even better would be to split this by patch, because now these are kind of too many. Does color make it more? Yeah, not the most. So XFS procs should have been more, wasn't there? Did I commit the others, or? Maybe I committed the others, or does the diff stop with this IT87 patch? Not even. What did I do? Can't open this much. Maybe the diff stops there because it doesn't make the most sense. Ah, that makes more sense. Yeah, so the diff stopped there, that was silly. And then let's commit this as groups to avoid excessive commits. The PCI access, crypto setup, access, probably this. Oh, no, it didn't. Scroll, and what else did we have? Did we have XFX programs? No, we didn't have this already. Oops. With some hot fixes, we can commit this separately. That's probably fine. So hot fixed this packages. Yesterday. And then a couple of more, because this stuff is nicely building. And all right, this was wrong. This is wrong. Packages. Yep, some changes. Yay. What did I even? You know what? Let's. Okay, I'm curious. Just what did I had here? Oh, clang. Okay, let's do the same thing again for. Clang. Firefox, PKSH, maybe rustconf, Python, TCP rep, space. Where is the beginning of my grep? I slightly wonder. Let's see what kind of changes we have in there. So Firefox is use LD, and here is some includes. Here's some trailing space. That's just why we have colorful helpers. Hello. Don't even really see the cursor there. Actually, this one here we did globally. I probably somehow missed it. That probably should be taken care of globally. Here we have one more implicit function declaration. Actually, this. Okay, we could group, so it's not that much left. Then let's group this Firefox and Rusty because these are linker. Mostly, except Elfic. LL VMLD Slinker. And because we had so PDKSH and there was at least one more, let's grab that again. There was LTO. These are quite some, more than I expected actually. Yeah. How can we? I mean, yeah, it's not that easy to. And yeah, that is the thing. Not everything is super easy to shell script. Maybe the easiest because, I mean, sure, it's always possible in some way, shape, or form, but sometimes automation takes longer than just doing it differently. So two straightforward things would be either, the most straightforward thing would be svn-st or git st and iterate over the change file, and then svn-di, like svn-st while, like cut stuff file name, while read fn of file name, whatever. svn-diff already this file, and then grab that for that, but alternatively, like parsing this here better, but I would say iterating over the change files should be easier. Oops, I wanted di. I slightly wonder, was this not maybe Clang only? Why did I know LTO? Did this not previously build? Are this all no LTO? I'm wondering a little bit, did this not? Maybe I make this sed in source, sed no LTO to no LTO Clang. Let's maybe test that they actually work. Which do we? Maybe we use here regular x86 build, or you know what? Let's do this better because I don't want to rebuild too much. Cut delimiter / field 3 for f in to remove with some root alias to avoid, like, help people not shoot themselves into their food. I'm not really sure why. Let's see if it, I mean, if it doesn't build, but maybe I didn't think it in the second. I mean, sometimes I also rush through things, but that happens when you rush through things and didn't think it entirely through, or ISED stuff. It is also possible that I accidentally SED stuff. But maybe I didn't think about it in this moment. But yeah, it looks like it builds with GCC. So like, yeah, I'm recurringly amazed how GCC LTO breaks things and differently, like LVM Clang LTO breaks things differently. So, yeah. But yeah, there is some common subset of like what GCC LTO breaks and LVM Clang LTO breaks. It's like there's some subset that is broken for both, but yeah. Glorified portable assembler macro preprocessor thing, and there. implementation defined CPU specific optimization breakage. Yeah, I guess it's mostly for this video. We fixed PowerPC64. Yeah, I'm surprised that I only realized that now. Maybe it is because Mesa previously built with autoconf, but otherwise, yeah, I quickly, like probably 2 years, because historically we probably didn't have this. Maybe I added PowerPC because historically I rather liked if a CPU, like if architecture is 64-bit, use 64-bit, or even an UltraSpark, like basically when that was my first or second 64-bit system, the Sun Ultra 5, I mentioned already 20 years ago, like basically quite exactly 20 years ago. So, and like that was my precious RISC 64-bit system, and then obviously I wanted to run full 64-bit, even though everyone told me like, or Debian, like, it's 5% slower and stuff. It's like I was like, yeah, you know, whatever, 5%. I want 64-bit. Nowadays, of course, yeah, every 5% we take because slow. So now we build both, so that on your UltraSpark stuff you can run optimized T2 32-bit user space, like cache and memory utilization optimized. And on your precious Sun T4 and stuff, Sun 4V, big iron, cool threads, you can run real 64-bit for your massive business databases and file server and stuff. So yeah, stuff is building, that is amazing. Where is my XFCE? Maybe here. Okay, that built. Then how do we do that now? You know what, let's commit, like pre-run that, just for the copyright patch. And I hope this one here is real. So let's grab this again, and what is the best we can do, or should we SVNST? Okay, let's script it. It is, I don't want to copy and paste 20 things. So it's probably the threshold of where it makes sense to automate this. So let's SVNST, grab desk, cut. This is a little bit quick hack, but good enough of whatever. So it's probably good dish, and then while readf do svndiff package. Why does this not complete? Package. Right, we have package any of f desk grab, and so then we want actually. So this should be little. Oops. Don't tell me. Okay. So this should actually start with a plus. Do we? Why does this not svndiff? What do we have here? This is already, okay, this is already the full path. Okay, that works. So we want, so basically starts with a plus and then any LTO. And that should probably be the files, and then we want that in quiet. And if this matches, then echo the file name. What is, so yeah, this is, doesn't exist yet. Wasn't found, nah, doesn't matter. And then SVN. Actually, let's manually review that. So what did actually change? Let's review that. Here, no LTO. Yeah, you see there is some stuff mixed actually. Let's maybe quickly do that for Arch 32. How many? Okay, this is only one. This Arch stuff. Oh, do we have more? What is this? Oh, this scripts. What do we have here? Okay. Okay, so then let's commit this. Flag clang atomic for any bit arch. And then let's do that again for LTO. LTO cling. That looks, so basically quickly reviewing that we don't commit some random nonsense. That looks okay, except Rust, because Rust is a little bit more. Don't, because I reverted to the architecture stuff. Here's no register. We also actually want to no register. And that is, ladies and gentlemen, pro tip why you carefully review all code. This is a very common thing I've seen so often, not only open source hobbyists and stuff, but even especially in big mega corporations where at times was for stuff like, like the bigger the companies, the worse the source. Like if Leafens comes below, but my impression is the bigger the companies, the bigger the mega corporation, the worse the version control use, atomic commits, grouped commits, reviewed commits, and general random commits were. But leave in the comments below your experience and stuff. So we probably, what I do then is, because this is mostly good now except Rust and Cargo. Rust, Cargo, and I guess the rest is good. Then let's save this to a file. I usually use X. Delete that. PCI utils, GCC. Oops. Ah, come on. Don't tell me of course I. So even then I usually, like if it's so much for my precious Linux distribution, warrants one more, like, because often often I on the edge of page scrolling at times overlook something, so yeah, that looks about right. No LTO flags as needed for a Clang based desktop build. No, we still have changes, including one stray file here. Okay, let's quickly grab for not version files, which are some. Here's some nonsense. What would that be? Is this even freaking used? Okay, let's leave it there for a second. Maybe we still need it for something. What was that? These are, I believe in the meantime, applied that. Actually, pro tip, check that before you delete it. But yeah. So many changes. I mean, so this we could actually commit already. This is our, should we? Okay, maybe we committed together with the GCC changes. After I. Yeah, probably commit this later tonight. Are our cross builds? Did I check that actually? Maybe I cross built it. Maybe I didn't. Let's quickly check. What? Unknown argument specified. Okay, maybe it didn't build. Build x86. What? String equal arch. What the heck if? Okay, probably some gross nonsense. Okay, I guess we reverts it for now. Oh, you wrote it bad. So, what was PDKSH? Clang. Okay, that actually looks somewhat plausible. What was this stuff? That's just some... Actually, these are different things. So, so we could commit this together with GDB. Disable GDB for micro plays and tools for AVR32, just there. And this was some strange, I needed. This is anyway not how we do it. Yeah. Removed obsolete hard coded F pixie flags from and slowly but steadily we wait, what was this Python stuff there, by the way? Oh, this was just some cleanup in slur conf config. Okay, maybe we keep it for another day. Yeah, we're making progress. We are slowly but steadily getting to release. Yeah, only minimal stuff, except GCC, MIPS N32, there's some comment, and bin utils. Actually, we probably could commit that. So this is not 100% finished and ideal yet, but oh wait, theoretically with LVM. Oh, there's some other stuff. Yeah, okay, I probably factor that out. So I probably take the extra minute later tonight to partially revert that and commit this properly together. But yeah, stuff is building, we are nearly there, and then we can finally release it. I hope you enjoyed this and learned something. As always, leave me your comments and thoughts below. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. Have a good day and night, and I hope to see you soon for all the continuation and testing fun of this to come.